None of this would have been possible without the 30 to 35,000 U.S. forces that have been deployed to Central Command. That augmentation started right after October 7th, 2023. It's involved, for example, 5 different aircraft carriers that have rotated through to keep a lid on Iran and to assist Israel in their defense against Iran's missiles. So a ton of credit to the U.S. military forces there, all branches, Air Force fighters, bombers, you name it, really helping to keep a lid and then give the pressure on Hamas.
Well, you were last here, Rebecca, right around the time we were sending an additional carrier strike group into the region. So I know that you're steeped in all of this. Will we maintain a similar footprint, a similar posture following Joe Biden's departure from the White House and following, I guess, the implementation of this ceasefire deal?
And that's going to be one of President Trump's biggest set of decisions, what to do with the Mideast force posture. I don't expect any changes right away because we'll want to keep the destroyers there that do ballistic missile defense. We're also still guarding the Red Sea shipping lanes. And then we're doing force protection for our own U.S. forces in Iraq. And then there's always Syria. But longer term, what President Trump wants is peace in the Middle East, built around the normalization of relations between Saudi and Israel. And in this Trump presidency, we need to see a smart and calculated drawdown of U.S. forces in the Middle East so that they can go to other places in the world where we need them, China if necessary.
Over the course of this 15 months, the U.S. policy in Israel became very controversial among progressive Democrats, many others who were critical of the Biden administration approach specifically here when it came to essentially allowing, in their words, and I know that this is very controversial, but allowing civilian deaths even as we provided military support to Israel. I know Joe Biden urged restraint repeatedly and caution in his meetings with Benjamin Netanyahu, but at one point there were lawmakers, Rebecca, threatening to hold back or change to some degree, lessen our military support to Israel, in fact, stall the shipment of weapons programs until certain conditions were met. Are those lawmakers going to be silent in a Trump administration? I'm assuming this is going to be all in on Israel.
Well, I think that what we've seen in the end is very strong support for Israel. It's been a tragic war, of course, but remember, it's Hamas that put their military capabilities in amongst civilians and led to that. In the end, we did not stop shipments to Israel. Quite the contrary. We've continued to support Israel with munitions. And of course, Israel has made great use of the U.S.-designed F-35 that they used as the fighter jet to take down Iran's air defenses. So Israel's security is paramount. It's the cornerstone of stability in the Middle East. The U.S. is going to continue to support that heavily. And I hope to take a lot of lessons learned, particularly in the drone and missile defense regions from what we've seen Israel do as they have restored Israeli security.